Hey everybody, happy Friday flow. Hope you're having a good week. Wanted to bring a little practice, a little yoga to your day, to your weekend, and before your weekend. Wanted us to just focus on counter poses and what feels better for your body. A lot of times, if you're sitting at work in a chair all week or throughout most of your day, you get a little sore in your shoulders and your back, you get a little sore in your hips. And so the first instinct people have is to take that stretch, right? Take that back bend, push those hips forward, stretch out the body. That would be a counterpose to what you're sitting in all day. It's healthy for you, it's good for your joints, it's good for your muscles, and it just focus on feeling good today, okay? So I invite you to come down to your mat. Any position, if you want to start sitting, you can start sitting. If you want to start lying down, take a second though. Let's take 2 deep breaths in together. Let it out. Another breath in. Let it out. Good. Now just go back to your regular breathing. Maybe shut down your eyes. Take a few minutes to get comfortable. Maybe drop your shoulders away from your head. Let your feet splay out to the sides. Really feel yourself get heavy onto the mat. And just notice your breathing. Maybe take a little body scan, see if you have any areas that are holding tension today. Be thoughtful and kind to those areas. Remember to come back to your breathing during your practice today. Just a little guidance on your yoga mat today. You don't have to look the same. Stay in positions that feel good for you and stay away from positions that don't feel good. Start to bring a little life into your fingers and your toes. Maybe dropping your head side to side. It's all about balance, right? One pose leads to another opposite pose. Like yin and yang, a little balance into your life. You can have a lot of fun, but you also have to have some serious time. You can have a lot of laughter, but you also have to allow room for some sadness. And I invite you to either keep your eyes shut down or you can blink them open. Just like we got out of bed this morning, let's zip our legs together, arms go all the way back overhead. Let's take a full body stretch. So really tighten everything from your toes to your fingers. Tighten your legs, tighten your core, maybe tighten your butt muscles underneath you to raise you up. And let's take a big breath in through our nose. And then exhale it out, relax everything. Good, walk the feet into the center of your mat. Maybe heel toe the feet to the outer edges of the mat a little bit. Arms can come to a cactus or a T, and we're just going to let the knees fall to the left. Maybe gaze comes over your right shoulder. Sending those exhales to the area of your back where you feel the stretch. Sending it some love. And let's go the other way, so gaze comes back first. Lift the knees up to the sky first and then let them fall towards the right. Maybe glance over the left shoulder this time. And then knees come back up. Walk your feet in towards each other. Once you're ready, let's just hug the knees into the chest gently. You can take some rocks here. Maybe rocking on the hips or making circles for the lower back. Whatever feels good here. No right and wrong, it's your body. Maybe bringing your head, wrapping your arms around your shins. And if your head is raised, allow it to come down. Feet come to plant in the center of your mat. Arms can come to a cactus or a T. Big inhale, let's send that left leg all the way up to the sky. Find some circles with that ankle, maybe in one direction, and then counter it with the other direction. Really feeling the muscles in your leg when you do this. So go slow so you feel it. You become aware of it. And then that left foot's going to stay flat. So we're going to cross it over our right leg. Pushing that left knee towards the front of the room, opening up that hip. Option to stay here in your recline pigeon. For a little more intense stretch of the hip, that right leg can raise so it's parallel to the floor. Make sure to keep your left foot flexed so you don't hurt yourself. And keep breathing. Focus on those deep inhales and exhales. If your leg is raised, allow the right foot to come down. And we're going to counter this. So we're going to let the knees fall towards the left. That left foot is kind of dragging like an anchoring your right knee down. Maybe glance over the right shoulder. Hearing my spine crack as we do the twists. Not maybe just what you needed, right? And let's inhale the legs back up to center and counter that twist. Drop the knees towards the right. Once the left foot touches the mat, make sure that left knee pops open, keeping the hip open. And maybe glance the other way this time over the left shoulder. Let's inhale the legs all the way up to the center again. Take an exhale. Inhale, left leg goes all the way to the sky. One more time. Towards your head, towards the back of the room, and then left foot's going to release and meet the right. Let's go right to the other side. So inhale that right leg all the way up. Take those ankle circles. Noticing the muscles. You're waking up the muscles in your calf, in your thigh, your Achilles, in your ankle, in your knee, right? Just these circles wakes up a lot of muscles in our legs. And then let's bring that right flexed foot over your left knee. Pop open the right hip towards the front of the room. You can do it with your hand or without. And let's drop those knees to the right, using that right foot to anchor your left knee down. Maybe glance over the left shoulder. Let's inhale the knees up to the sky. And let's go the other way. So that right foot's going to fall towards the left. Take a second once your right foot hits the ground. Pop that right knee open towards the front of the room to open the hip. And then maybe glance over the right shoulder. Inhale the legs all the way back up to the sky. Take an exhale. Big inhale, right foot goes all the way up towards your head, towards the back of the room, and then right foot's going to drop to meet the left. Good, let's bring our hands under our thighs, kind of round your back a little bit. Let's take some rocks, the front and back of the room. Really Taking moments here to massage your back. If it hurts up by your shoulder blades, round and rub. There you go. Good. Maybe it's your lower back that hurts more. Then you make the lower circles like this. And then once you're there, come up to a seated position. Let's roll over our ankles. Finding our tabletop today. Hands under the shoulders, knees are under the hips distance apart, tent the fingers so you don't put a lot of pressure into your wrists. And then when you're ready, let's take a cow pose. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Maybe allow your chest to fall in a little bit. Exhale, take a cat back, round the belly, around the spine, tuck the belly, tuck the chin. Inhale, that's one pose. And then the counter is the cat back. And your body always likes one position more, usually. Exhale it out, round. Inhale, drop. Let the chest fall down to the mat a little. And then push it away. Good, let's send that left foot to the back of the mat. Take a few gentle rocks, the length of your mat here. Warming up our Achilles back there. Our right foot is going to kickstand. Plant the right hand into the mat. Let's open the chest towards the left. Left arm raises. Option to keep your foot down here at the back of your mat, or option to see if you can elevate it up. Maybe bring that left arm toward your ear. Nice and strong in your core here. Option to also take a half bind by wrapping that left hand around into your right pocket if that feels good. And then release the left leg down first. Get light on the right fingertips. Raise your upper body up. And let's counter that pose. Big inhale, arms to a T. Back nice and tall. Exhale, gate pose. Left hand comes down the left leg. Right arm comes up and over. And then cartwheel your hands to the top of the mat. Left knee returns to meet the right. Let's reset ourselves for a second. Let's do a couple more cat-cows. Find your tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, push it away. Good, let's inhale that right foot to the back of the mat. Take those same rocks back and forth. This time warming up the right Achilles. Once you're ready, left leg is going to kickstand. Plant the right arm. Roll up in the chest to the right. Right arm's going to raise. Nice and strong in that left. Option to stay here with your foot supported, or option to raise that right leg up. Maybe bring your right arm towards your ear, towards the front of the room. Or maybe it was to find that bind. Right arm goes behind your back into your left pocket. Keep breathing. And then release the right leg down. Get light on the left fingertips. Inhale, arms out to a T. On the exhale, find your gate pose on this side. Right arm comes down the right leg, left arm up and over. Return back to center. Cartwheel the hands to the front of the mat. Find your tabletop position again. 2 more cat-cows. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, push it away. Then return to a neutral tabletop. Hands are gonna walk out to the top of your mat. And just see if you can gently send your hips back, lower your chest a little. And then maybe raise yourself up. Big inhale. Exhale down, maybe a little lower this time. Maybe coming to our puppy pose here by dropping your chest and your chin towards the mat or onto the mat. Feeling the stretch in your shoulders and your back here. You can feel it in the top of your shoulders, towards your shoulder blades in the back. Wiggle the fingers before you come out of it. And then gently raise yourself up. Coming to your hero's pose. So drop those sit bones right onto your heels. Let's counter that pose. This time arms are going to clasp behind you. Walk your hands down your sit bones. Open that chest up. Now you're feeling the stretch more in the front of your shoulders, right? So whether you liked that motion, feeling it here, or you like this motion, feeling it here, no right or wrong answers. But it feels good to do both. Taking care of the body, right? Release the clasp of your hands. Come to your tabletop. This time we're going to tuck the toes. Bend at the elbows, tuck the elbows in towards the body. Lower the chest and chin to hover. And then slither forward. Raising yourself up, maybe in an unsupported cobra. And releasing it down. Raise yourself back up. And release it down. Hands are going to plant under your shoulders. Raise yourself up to high plank. Bring a big bend into the knees. Send those hips up and back. Coming to our first down dog of the practice today. Taking a second to pedal your legs out a little bit. Looking at your placement. Fingers still tented. Straight back. Great for bad posture. Great if you're sitting at your desk all day. And together, let's take 3 big breaths. In through our nose and then out through your mouth like a tiger's breath. So big inhale. Exhale it out. Another big inhale. Exhale it out. Big inhale, one more. Exhale it out. Good, big, generous bend in the knees. Glance towards the top of your mat. Hop, step, or tiptoe your way up. And I'll lose my bum. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. First forward fold of the practice also, right? No judging yourself here. Just really enjoying that stretch of your back here. And then let your arms hang, head hang. Take as much time as you want to gently roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time, like you're a puppet hanging from a string. The last thing to lift is the crown of the head. And as I fix my bun. Good, take a second here while I adjust. Let's inhale those arms all the way up to the sky. Maybe counter that forward fold with a slight back bend. Hips towards the front of the room. And then exhale, hands to heart space, Tadasana mountain pose. Get heavy in those heels. Lift every single one of your 10 toes if you can. Shut down your eyes. Really engage your legs, your core, your shoulders, your arms. Take a few breaths here. And then setting down each one of your toes one at a time. Circle the arms all the way up to the sky. Gaze up. On the exhale, hands at your sides. Swan dive down, slowly and controlled. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Let's plant the fingertips. Heel toe your feet out away from each other a little bit. Take a second here. Grab opposite elbows. Take a few sways side to side. It's okay to keep a bend in the knees if that feels good. Maybe shaking your head yes and no, maybe bobbing up and down. Noticing where you're holding tension or where you feel the stretch. Might be the back of your legs, it might be your lower back. Might even be your shoulders if you're grabbing opposite elbows. Release the elbows if you have them. Heel toe the feet in towards each other. Let's keep the fingers planted on the mat. Bring a big bend into the knees. Let's send that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Spin that heel down so the foot is at a 45-degree angle. So heel in, toes out. Maybe walk your left foot up a little bit to increase your stance. Get a little light on your fingertips. Just wiggle them out. And then from the ground up, we're going to ground down into our feet. Raise yourself up. Take a second. Make sure your hips are rotated towards the front of the room. And then when you're ready, inhale those arms up and away from your ears. Good. Shoulders relaxed. Drop them down. Nice and strong in your legs. Coming to your warrior one pose. Maybe bend a little deeper into that left leg. And then release the hands to heart space. Let's counter that pose. So right hand's gonna plant. Pivot that back foot so you're on your toes. Peel open, twist to the left. Left arm raises up. Frame out the left foot. Bump that right foot up a little bit. Slightly heel and toe out. Take a second. Create some space. Take a halfway lift. And then exhale. Find your pyramid pose on your left side. Great option for blocks here to create an extension of your limbs. Taking a little look at our alignment for a second. So that left hip's going to go back, right hip towards the front, so it's straight towards the front of your mat. Good, big bend in both knees. Right foot's going to hop up to meet the left. Sink the seat, find your chair pose. Chest up, shoulders open away from your ears. Ground down into your heels. Tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone. Get strong in those legs. And then take a forward fold. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Right to the other side, fingertips are going to plant. Let's send that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Once the toes are down, pivot that foot so it's a 45-degree angle. So heel in, toes out. Maybe walk your right foot up a little bit to increase your stance. Get a little light on your fingertips. Then take a second, ground down into your feet. Start there. Raise your upper body. Take a second, hips are like headlights towards the front of the mat, and then arms come up overhead. Arms by your ears, shoulders roll down away from your head. Bring a bigger bend maybe into that right knee, get strong. And then release the hands to heart space. Left hand plants this time. Right arm up overhead, twist to the right. Taking whatever movements feel good. Frame out the right foot. Bump up that left foot a little bit to the center of your mat. Slightly angle that back foot toes out. Take a second, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pyramid pose. This time, right hip towards the back, left hip towards the front. And then big bend in the knees. Left foot hops up to meet the right. Sink the seat. Hands at heart space. Find your chair pose. You got this. And then find your forward fold. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, create some space. Exhale, fold. Big bend in the knees, circle the arms all the way up to the sky. Slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart space. Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take a little vinyasa here. So let's circle the arms all the way up to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, create some space. Exhale, fold. This time hands plant, right foot goes back, left foot goes back. And take your vinyasa or your flow. So lower yourself halfway into your elbows. Find whatever back bend of your choice. And then let's flip it back and up to our down dog. Good, taking a few breaths here. Let's inhale that left leg all the way up to the sky. On the exhale, plant it in between your hands, however you need to get it there. Let's spin that right foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Find your right thigh with your left thigh with your left elbow. Take a second here. Maybe peel open that right shoulder, extended side angle. And then raise yourself up. Straighten that front leg. Let's inhale, hips to the back of the room, upper body to the front. Take a second. And then release that left hand to where it feels good. Open up to the right, triangle pose. Rolling that right shoulder open to test your core here. Maybe you can see if you could grab your left earlobe with your left hand. And then raise yourself up. Let's counter that pose. Peaceful triangle, so we're going the other way. Inhale, lean a little forward, flip that left hand. Right arm down the right leg, left arm up and over. And then cartwheel the hands. Frame out that foot. If you can, pick up that foot off the mat. Find your three-legged dog. And then left foot drops to meet the right. Let's go right to the other side. Inhale, right leg all the way up to the sky. Exhale, roll forward. Foot's gonna plant in between your hands. Good. Let's spin that left foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Ground down into your feet. Just lift your right arm up. Find your right thigh. And then maybe peel yourself open to the left and your extended side angle. Root down into your feet. Using your core, raise yourself up. Straighten that front leg. Inhale, arms to a T. Hips to the back of the room, upper body towards the front. And then when it feels good, release that right hand down. Left arm's gonna go up to the sky. Left shoulder open. Hand can come to your shin here. It can come to your foot. It can come to your mat. Or to test your core, it can come to your right earlobe. Using your core, straighten yourself up. Counter that pose. Take an inhale, lean a little forward, flip that right hand. Left arm's gonna go down the left leg, right arm up and over into your peaceful triangle. And then return to center, cartwheel the hands, frame out the right foot, send that foot all the way back and up into your three-legged dog. And then right foot's gonna meet the left. Let's drop the knees down. Open them wider than the hips, big toes to touch. Walk yourself down onto your ankles, your heels. Maybe letting your third eye hit the mat. Maybe taking some rocks back and forth. We want to make this an active child's pose. So glance up at your hands, raise your chest up a little bit, walk your hands over to the right. Once you're there, left hand's gonna go where your right hand is. That right hand's gonna go all the way back in the opposite direction. And then release your head down to your knee. Glance up first. Right hand returns, walk yourself across your mat. All the way to the left. Once you're there, right hand goes where the left hand is. Left hand goes way back behind you. I'm not stretching your arms in opposite directions. Maybe letting that head fall to your left knee. Glance up first, walk yourself back to center. Walk your hands out as far as they can go. Push through your fingertips, really set those hips onto your heels, open those hips up. And then walk your hands in towards you. And just sweep the legs around. Find your sit bones. Good. Let's hug the right knee into our chest. Sit up nice and tall on that left sit bone. Inhale the arm all the way up to the sky. On the exhale, left arm's gonna wrap around that right leg. Take a twist to the right. Glancing over your right shoulder maybe. Reconnecting with your breath if you lost it. And then unravel yourself back to center. Allow that right knee just to fall open. Let's inhale, arms all the way up to the sky. And then this time, drop the hands down. Just walk them up a little bit. Not really making this fold forceful. Just really stretching out the right side of your lower back. No need to push it, right? Stop if it doesn't feel good. And let gravity work with your exhales, and it drops you down even closer to the leg. Walk the hands in. Sweep the legs around to the right side, coming to your mermaid pose, sit nice and tall on that left hip, and we're gonna counter that stretch. So we're gonna twist over to the left, maybe staying on your fingertips. If it feels good for an extra added stretch, walk those hands out and fold yourself down over your left side. Even dropping your head to the mat, if that feels good. And then glance up, walk the hands back in, sweep the legs around to the front again. This time, hug that left knee in, sitting nice and tall on your right sit bone. Inhale the arms, right arm all up to the sky, get nice and tall. On the exhale, wrap that right arm around the left knee, take a twist to the left. Maybe glance over the left shoulder. And then unravel yourself back. Allow that left knee just to fall open. Turn yourself towards your right leg. Let's inhale the arms all the way up, sit up nice and tall. On the exhale, let the hands fall and just walk them gently, gingerly. Not trying to judge yourself because each side might be different. And really just stopping when you notice that lower left back stretch. No pain necessary. Maybe glancing at your toes. And then walk yourself up. Sweep that right leg behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Actually, we have to go the other way because I'm a moron. Sweep the legs over to the left. Sit up nice and tall on that right sit bone. Take an inhale. Hey, at least I caught it. And then twist to the right. Everyone has flaws. It's okay. Makes us authentic. Keeps us on our game. Besides, counter poses, right? Perfection or being good, and then screwing up. It's all about balance. Good. Maybe to take an added stretch here, walk the hands out to the right of you, lowering your body over that right side. Really stretching out that left hip. And then glance up first, walk the hands in. Now this time, bringing your legs in front of you. Let's roll over those legs. Find your tabletop pose for a second. Keep those toes tucked. We're just going to find our 8-point stance again like we did earlier in our practice. So bend the elbows halfway down into the body, chest and chin to hover. And then slither forward, this time finding your Sphinx pose. So bring those elbows in towards your rib cage. Don't look up and don't look down. We want to look straight ahead. And then try to drag your pelvis. Try to extend your spine by rolling open your shoulders. Maybe shutting down your eyes here for a moment. Maybe looking right, looking left. And then release yourself down. Arms come to a cactus. Take a second, take a breath here, rub your third eye into the mat a little bit. And then plant the right side of your face onto the mat. Let's bend the left knee and then raise that knee up towards your left elbow. Finding frog pose here. We're going to take about 8 breaths in this hip opener. Really feeling your hip stretch open, lower down to the mat a little bit maybe. Feel free to shut down your eyes. present, thinking about where you are, thinking about what's around you, maybe tuning into your body, seeing how you feel. Last breath. And release slowly that left leg to meet the right. Switch cheeks, so left cheek's gonna plant. Bring a bend into that right knee first, and then raise it up towards your right elbow. Opening that hip, feeling the hip stretch towards the earth. Taking about 8 breaths here. Option to shut down your eyes. Last breath together here. And let it out. Send that right foot back to meet the left. Bring a bend into the knees. Let's just windshield wiper them side to side. Releasing any tension you might be holding in your lower back. Hands are going to plant under your shoulders. Push yourself up to your tabletop. Push yourself up towards your heels. Right? Toes are tucked. Let's roll ourselves into our toe stance just for a second. Right? You can use your fingers for support, or if you feel like you've got this, hands can come at heart space. And then just set your hands down first. Find your sit bones. You might need to scoot yourself back to the center of the mat. Arms towards the front of the room. Feet are planted. Knees are tented. Take an inhale, lift up. Exhale, release yourself down. Nice and slow. Really controlled. Engage that core. Once you're there, let's take an inhale. Hug those knees in. Maybe this time grabbing your feet. Bring your nose between your knees, taking some rock side to side. Release the head and shoulders down. Cactus out the arms, or bring your arms down to your sides, wherever it feels good. And let's find our waterfall pose. So send those feet all the way up to the sky. Maybe doing some counter poses here, right? By just flexing and pointing our feet. You'll notice the difference in the muscles that change when you do that. Maybe taking this moment to shut down your eyes. Or take some circles. Figure eights. And then release the hands down to your sides. Gently lower to the count of 10, your feet to the top of the mat. Once you're there, open up your legs. Drop your shoulders away from your head. Sprawl out your arms. Together, let's take 2 inhales and exhales. Big inhale, belly breath, nice and slow. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. One more inhale. Exhale it out. Taking a second to let your feet fall open. Let your hands fall where they feel good. Maybe relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw, feeling yourself melt into your mat. Bringing yet more balance to that hard work you did. Now you have your time of rest. Maybe bringing a little smile to the corners of your lips. Noticing any changes in how your body feels after your practice today. Or maybe your mind, maybe it's a little slower, a little quieter, less chatter. Noticing how many deep breaths you actually took throughout your practice today. We don't do that a lot. We do a lot of shallow, little breathing throughout our day. And how much you did for your lungs today. Together, let's wake up the fingers and the toes. Maybe rocks with your head. Keeping your eyes shut down, feet can walk to the center of the mat. Right arm raises up overhead. Roll yourself over to the right side using your right arm as a pillow. Coming to fetal pose. Your pose of new beginnings, new chances, new opportunities, new days, new adventures, new memories, new everything. Let's take a big breath in together. On the exhale, feel the ribs really connect with the earth. Let it ground you. Let it hold you. And then any way you want to make your way up, keeping the peace you created, using your hands to prop you up. Find a comfortable seated position on your mat. Eyes are still shut down. Let's roll those shoulders all the way up to the ears. Big inhale. Exhale, roll them down. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale, hands to heart space. On the exhale, bow the head. Feel your heartbeat for a second against your thumbs. Thank you for finding balance with me today. Thank you for practicing yin and yang. Thank you for spreading your light, sharing your light, and just existing. Thank you, and take your light and share it with the world today, tomorrow, and the next day. Namaste. Great job, guys. Have a great weekend. Balance, right? Little party, little rest. Little party, little rest.